The CBOA tool, which stands for Custom Building Optimization Analysis Tool, is a customizable Excel spreadsheet tool that is used to estimate the energy and demand impacts related to implementing operational measures on existing HVAC systems. This tool is a companion to the existing BOA tool and works in both Excel 2003 and Excel 2007. The BOA tool is used in California utility retrocommissioning programs for lower savings measures up to 75,000 kWh and 5,000 therms, whereas this tool, the CBOA tool, could be used for higher savings measures or when a more custom building energy savings analysis is required. This tool calculates the annual energy and demand savings for 10 common HVAC measures, or ECMs, in California buildings. The tool estimates demand savings, kWh savings, and therm savings, which are calculated and presented on an outside air temperature bin basis, using common engineering principles and user inputs. The tool and its companion help file must be located in the same directory on your C drive or desktop. The help file will not work if it is installed on a shared network. So I've downloaded the tool from the website here and saved it on the desktop here. Let's go ahead and open up the tool. So in order for the tool to work correctly, macros must be enabled. If you need help figuring out how to enable macros, look at the Excel Help menu. Let's just check and make sure we have this enabled. As you can see, the worksheet tabs are color-coded in groups. Starting from the left, the purple tab represents the instruction worksheet, which we're on now. The pink represents the project documentation worksheet. The blue tabs represent output or reporting worksheets. The orange tabs represent general project input worksheets, and the green tabs represent system or measure-specific input worksheets. In general, the user moves left to right through the workbook when entering inputs, starting with the orange tabs. Let's now take a look at the format of the input worksheets. At the top of every tab that has required inputs, you will see a previous and next button. Let's zoom in so we can see this a little bit better. These buttons can be used to progress through the workbook. Clicking on these buttons will take you in a logical order through the worksheets to fill in the user input sections. Alternatively, you can just click on the tab of choice to move around. So after you fill out this information, you could just go down here to the next orange tab, Schedules, and click there, or you could click the next button here. In addition, in the top right-hand corner is the Help button. Clicking on the Help button will bring up a file that includes background information about the tool, such as the basics for how the tool works and how ECM interactions are accounted for. The basic information is in the introduction section here. So you have an overview, how to use the tool, and then ECM interactions, or what the tool calls stacking here. Basic information on each input tab or worksheet of the workbook is under the component section. So these correlate to the tabs that need to be filled out, starting with the orange tabs. The blue output tabs in the workbook are discussed under the reports section. Each of these correlates to the tab name. And the methodology behind the calculations in the tool is under the theory section. Okay. There's also some basic instructions on how to use the tool on the instructions worksheet, the far left over here. There's a quick overview of how to use the tool here, and you can also click on the contents to go directly to those items. So for example, the schedules tab, if you're interested in that, you'd click there and bring you down to some basic information about the schedules. Click top to go back to the beginning. The Document Template tab is a spot to put supporting documentation related to user inputs. Many utility programs require baseline and post-implementation documentation, and this information could be included here. This tab can also be renamed and copied as needed to suit your project. So you would just go to copy, and then you can rename it as needed. Go ECM1. Okay, let's go back to the General Information tab. In the top section here, the General Project Information and Provider Information, you input basic building and project characteristics. These sections are solely for documentation purposes, and so is the building type field down here, meaning that they're not used in the calculations. So let's just input some basic information in here. These yellow cells are also not required. However, the red cells down here starting with zip code are. So we'll just say my name. Building type, our example building is an office space, so we'll click on office. Although the tool is applicable to all building types, currently only common building types are listed in this drop-down. So if you had a different building outside of these options, you could just make a note of it in the document template tab. So the first red cell or required cell on this tab is the zip code. Filling in the zip code will populate the climate zone and update the default value for the outside air heating and cooling design temperatures down here. So let's input our zip code. And as you can see, there's also tips here that describe what the field's used for and what it does. So it populated our climate zone as climate zone 8 and our outside air design cooling temperature and heating temperature. If there's more than one climate zone, a dialog box will pop up with a drop-down list that allows you to select the desired climate zone for the building. In this case, there's just one, so that didn't happen. The elevation is the last field that's required in this worksheet. So let's just put in our elevation of 52 feet. And then I'm just going to go ahead and fill out some more basic information here.